Tele-Story presents Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids in Rebop for Bebop. It began as any typical Saturday for Fat Albert and the gang. The boys got together to make plans for the day. But it wasn't until Bucky happened to pick up the newspaper that things began to be untypical.
Hey! A Battle of the Bands contest!
And first prize is $100?
Hey, it says here that we gotta sign up today.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, let's go!
Hey, gotta win!
The gang rushed to the theater and lined up in front, along with every other band in the neighborhood. And Weird Harold noticed someone who looked familiar.
Hey, isn't that Buddy Warren from school?
Hey, buddy.
Can that buddy stuff, will ya? I call myself Slash now. You guys are not entering this band contest, are you?
We sure are.
I've heard you guys practicing in the junkyard. Let me give you a tip. Don't waste your time. No way could you win against my band.
But the gang didn't listen to Buddy, Slash. They signed up anyway, then returned to their homes. A short while later, the gang gathered together at the junkyard to practice. Russell began to string some new tin cans on his instrument.
Where's Fat Albert? He had to do a few errands for his mom. He'll be along soon.
Okay, time for some hot licks from Guitar Rudy! Ooh, get ready for the sweetest sound you ever heard!
The band began to practice on their junkyard instruments. Just then, an older man walked in on the rehearsal.
Excuse me, fellas. I heard you playing, and I thought I might give you a few tips. My name is,
No offense, mister, but, we play modern music.
At that moment, Buddy walked in on the group.
Hey, I think that old dude is just what you guys need. Yeah, an old guy like you could really help my pals here. You could teach them kind of a waltz or a polka or something.
Well, actually, I was a pretty good musician once,
Yeah, when? In the Stone Age? Hey, that'd make you a rock musician, right? Stone Age rock musician? Get it?
I guess you boys don't have time to learn something after all. Sorry I bothered you.
The old man turned and began to leave, his feelings hurt by Buddy's rude behavior.
Did you dig on that old guy? He was really a giggle.
Hey, why don't you make like a garbage truck and haul yourself out of here? Trash?
The name is Slash, and you ought to thank me for getting rid of that old dude for you. Well, so long, chums.
As the old man exited the junkyard, Fat Albert was rushing to enter with his tuba and almost ran into him.
Gee, mister, I'm sorry.
You kids are all alike.
I really am sorry.
But Fat Albert's apology did absolutely no good. The old man hurried off. As the day of the big contest drew closer, the gang practiced hard, only it just didn't seem to make any difference in their sound.
No way we're gonna win that contest.
We gotta do something to make our sound better.
Suddenly, Weird Harold's bed-frame bass started to creak and shake from being strung too tight. Dumb Donald pointed in alarm.
I think that thing's alive! She's gonna blow!
And sure enough, the bass exploded into pieces. Bill and Weird Harold were shocked.
Talk about a dynamite sound.
Whew, I guess practice is over.
The gang rushed off to play, leaving their troubled instruments behind. Fat Albert knew the gang needed all the practice they could get. He walked away from the junkyard, lost in thought.
Hey, Fat Albert. Oh, hi, Mudfoot. You look lower than a snake's tennis shoes. What's the problem? Oh, we're trying to win a $100 prize in the Battle of the Bands, but we can't get our sound together, you know what I mean? You young'uns need some professional help, and I know just the person. You do? I just said I did. Now, you get your band together and meet me back here. I'll take you to see Lester Benson. Back in the 50s, he was one of the greatest jazz sax players in the whole country. Wow, a real musician. Gee, thanks, Mudfoot. I'll get the gang, and we'll be right back.
Mudfoot led Fat Albert and the gang up the stairs of an old apartment building. When they neared the door at the top of the stairs, the boys stopped to listen to some of the best saxophone playing they'd ever heard. Bucky and Rudy couldn't believe their ears.
Hey, it's real music. Sounds great, too. Boy, with him helping us, we're going to be fantastic.
The gang opened the door and walked onto the roof. When they saw who was playing the saxophone, their eyes went wide with surprise. It was Lester Benson, the man Buddy had insulted in the junkyard. Mudfoot called out to him.
Hey, Lester, you're better than ever. I want you to meet some friends of mine.
We've already met once.
You have?
Yes, and once was more than enough.
Gee, Mr. Benson, if you just let us explain.
I don't know what you kids are up to, but I don't want any part of it.
Lester refused to listen to Rudy's explanation and walked away, leaving the gang looking sadly after him. Back at the junkyard, the gang tried to practice, but their hearts just weren't in it anymore. Weird Harold shook his head.
Boy, we really blew it. We should have said something when that creepy buddy started razzing Mr. Benson. Now Mr. Benson won't even let us explain.
But maybe he will let us apologize.
The others agreed with Fat Albert and headed back toward the apartment building. Even though his roof was being repaired, Mr. Benson ignored the danger and played his saxophone up there anyway. But today, a strong wind was blowing, and suddenly the big billboard behind him started to creak and groan.
I'd better tell the manager about this.
Suddenly, the billboard came loose. Lester jumped to avoid it, but fell through a hole, catching an edge at the last minute. Just then, the gang entered the roof, and Weird Harold pointed at Lester.
Hey, Fat Albert, look!
Hurry, boys, hurry. I can't hold on much longer.
Weird Harold looked back at Fat Albert in alarm.
We'll never get him out in time.
I'll take care of that.
Fat Albert put his back to the billboard and kept it from falling, while Lester continued to hang on for dear life.
Careful, boys. This roof is weak.
Fat Albert struggled to hold the billboard up while the boys looked for a rope. Soon, Bill found a clothesline, and the gang threw one end to Mr. Benson, who grabbed hold of it.
Here you go.
Okay, guys, pull!
Everyone pulled with all their might. The boys had just barely lifted Lester out of the hole and moved him to the side when Fat Albert let the billboard go, and it came crashing down. After catching his breath, Lester smiled at the gang.
Boys, I guess I was wrong about you. And if you still want me to help you with your music, well, I'll teach you everything I know, and then some.
Great, man! Terrific!
The day of the big contest finally arrived. The theater was packed with people who were quieted by the announcer.
And now our final contestants, a group of local boys who call themselves the Junkyard Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to dedicate this number to someone who really helped us out, Mr. Lester Benson.
The gang played better than ever. Even Buddy, Slash, was surprised. Finally, after the boys had finished their tune, the announcer walked on stage.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. And the winner is the Junkyard Band.
The audience cheered, but before the boys walked on stage, Fat Albert thanked Lester.
Mr. Benson, it sure would be nice if you did this encore with us, please.
Fat Albert, I thought you'd never ask.
Fat Albert and the gang won the contest, but more importantly, they discovered that no matter who we are or what age we may be, we can all learn from each other.